Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am Dan Thompson with Claris Networks, and this is another edition of What's Up in Tech. Hey, so we just posted a video about Heartbleed. I'm sure you've all heard about it on the news by now. Heartbleed obviously is a problem with secure websites. And we've got a couple of questions we want to address. So if you're curious about what Heartbleed was, what your response should be, go check out the other video. You should see it in our YouTube stream or on the blog that you found this video from. However, let's dive into a couple of other questions. So how big was the Heartbleed problem? It's a little hard to know. Rough estimates are approximately 2/3 of all websites, secure websites that is, use the OpenSSL platform, which means that roughly 2/3 of the websites out there that are secure sites had the problem themselves. Heartbleed, how does it affect? Was there a patch and is it all fixed now? That's a tough question to answer. So Heartbleed was associated with OpenSSL itself. Now OpenSSL fixed their issue. However, websites that relied on the OpenSSL protocol and platform then had to patch their servers and any software that rode on top of that. So once OpenSSL did their part, all the other websites like Facebook, Twitter, and so on, they actually had something that they needed to fix as well. So that's another piece of the puzzle. So should I be worried? Have all my passwords been stolen? Is my identity at risk here, and is it probably stolen at this point? Also another good question. So when things like this happen, it's a good reminder of what we should be doing anyway, right? We should be updating our passwords on a regular basis. You should be keeping an eye on your bank accounts to see if there's anything weird going on. You should be doing regular credit checks. You can actually do a credit check every 4 months and do that for free. There's 3 different reporting bureaus. Each one offers you a free credit check every year. You can set that up so you're revolving, and you basically can do one every 4 months. We should be doing that as a normal operation anyway for ourselves, just to make sure that there's nothing weird going on with your credit. These are all indicators of whether or not your whether or not your identity, I should say, has been stolen. If weird things are going on your credit, if weird charges are showing up on your credit cards, things like that. So now is just a good time to remind ourselves of that. Now, was anything successfully stolen? Another great question and a hard one to answer. So as it turns out, the Heartbleed bug was out in the wild for almost 2 years. That's a long time. However, researchers didn't discover it until April 7th. So it's possible that the researchers that discovered it and disclosed it were the first people to find this bug, in which case there was a very quick response and possibly a low yield for attackers. It is also possible that people have found the bug and never disclosed it appropriately, and so it's just been floating out there and people have been stealing usernames and passwords for the past 2 years. That is possible. I would offer that it's unlikely. Generally speaking, when bugs this huge happen, the big guys will get a hold of it and then it'll trickle down to the little guys and then we'll all hear about it very quickly. It is possible, though, if you're super paranoid, to think that government states have, or just to say that another way, like China or Russia or the US government with the NSA, it is possible to think that they had it and didn't disclose it and have been using it. So let me just throw all that out there. So should you be worried? Absolutely, you should always be worried. What should you do? Again, like I mentioned a second ago, change your passwords, keep an eye on your credit scores, and definitely keep an eye on your credit cards to see if there's any kind of weird fraud. Essentially what it allowed them to do was steal anything that happened to be in memory on the server at that time. Again, that's kind of a bit of a technical discussion. What that means, though, is that potentially passwords, credit card information, things like that were potentially on the server at that time. So these are the things that we should be worried about. So I hope that fills in a couple more gaps for you on what the Heartbleed bug was and what it affected. So we'll catch you next time here on What's Up in Tech. Again, my name is Dan Thompson with Claris Networks.